On-the-job training. So here I would say a minor deviation. Here I have training, which actually, so the auditor just write down this: training not performed according to the training plan. Two, not audits, trainings were missed. And yes, containment action, or we can say no, and then he will ask us why not. Let's see, check what is Saka saying. Okay. Then manufacturing process, this we're gonna do conform, that I get to the end. So you will here have a lot of information, but I want to show even more that, because here we have our report. And what we have done is inside each question where we have a nonconformity, we installed a specific agent that just looks on this. What I told you, it reformulates the nonconformity. It tells us which standard is applicable. What is the significance of this result to our organization? And it immediately gives us the immediate containment action and short-term root cause analysis and systematic corrective action when it has to be done, verification of effectiveness and how I should do it, customer and product safety assessment, and closure and evidence requirement. So this is just on the specific finding, nonconformity. I get all this information, actionable steps, what I can do immediately after this one is realized. So let's take a product audit. I have some overdue here in my system. So let's take one. And I'm going to basically explain on the product audit checklist, and then we go back to the system. I'm going to show you what's inside. So we have here, we added this navigation feature, which is very nice and very helpful. You will see why. We have here 4 different questions. We have characteristics, and we also have like a checklist question. So first question we have is the drawing version status, if this is okay, if we can visually check if the drawing is at the latest revision. We can say pass or fail. We can add notes. Drawing at the latest revision. I didn't use the right language, as it looks like. So I can draw it out. It was interesting. It did use a different language. So we can add notes, we can add pictures. I'm just going to go to the next characteristics. And here, what's already important. So we have dimension 1, we have the specification, we have the sample size set at 3, but we have the possibility to say, okay, we just want to go product by product, and on each product, we want to check all the characteristics. So that means if I go now to sample 1, and I say, okay, this has the dimension 35, which is okay. I can again add photos, add notes. This is all possible. I'm going to show you later on that. I go to the next characteristic, which is, as you can see, 60 plus minus 3. In this case, I'm going to add also for this first sample. And here I'm going to say 64. Whoops, that's a failure. Okay, so it's out of spec. So the problem, length too long. Containment action necessary. Yes, we can add a containment action, describe problem. Check the available stock. In the warehouse, of course, I will get myself this action And the deadline, we want to do it today because it's very urgent. So I can go to the last question, but actually I now want to check my second product. So I'm going to jump back to the first dimension and I'm going to say, okay, let's take the second product. And here, let's say I have 36. That's okay. Then go to the next one here. I can go with the second product. You can see already where I'm going with this. You can go product by product, or you can say, for example, I have a microscope setup where I want to measure a specific dimension and I want to measure it on 10 samples. Then I can just put in 10 samples and I can measure all the 10 samples, put in the results, and then go to the next characteristics. So both ways are possible. That's the idea. So you can use it for doc audits, you can use it for product audits. Anything is possible from going from one or the other direction. In the meantime, our Insight Analyze agent is doing his job. What it does is compares these results with my previous audits, and it will give me, besides the result of this audit, it will give me also the comparison, and here it is. It will also give me the comparison to previous audits. Let's jump back to my laptop for that. Perfect. And now we can go to the reports and find exactly this specific audit. So this was our product audit, which let us check if this was it. We can see it also by the picture what we took. So this was exactly our audit. And we have the scoring 75%. At the moment is the VDA 6.5 scoring. And I'm going to show you what is possible in the background. So what is under the hood, let's say. And yeah, so we have, of course, the nonconformity. Also, we have the suggestions from our agent, what we should do, because we have one finding, one nonconformity. And also how this compares to previously done audits. You can see some audits done previously with what results. And we get key patterns and trends. What I told you about that I don't have to have sleepless nights and weekends. I have it immediately once I perform any audit. So I have immediate risks and all additional information. What should I do in the next 4 hours, immediate, the same day, short term. So you see where this is going. So you get a lot of this information just by inputting the data, performing the audit, and in a couple of seconds, you have your co-auditor, which works on steroids with much more coffee than I drink, usually provide you with all this data immediately.